been in a weird space. Like, I've really prioritized work. It's tiring sacrificing love, sacrificing a lot of my time. Like, all my mates went to a really crazy pool party yesterday. They all had the time of their lives, and I was editing. I was just working on non-paid work. I was working on a pitch to possibly land an editing job. I always believed I'm one deal away. When I was in music, I always believed I was one song away. But I'm tired, and I'm keen for my break. I need a break.
Hi guys, welcome back to the vlog!
What the? No, shut up. What?
It's literally shut the fuck up, bro.
Are you serious?
Of course, bro.
Yeah. I don't deserve this. Give us a little ripper. Just a little whap. This, can I tell you how special this is? I'm just good at everything I do.
Except for your job.
I am your captain, no.
I thought I was gonna suffocate of gas. I thought this was my way.
We're going to Bali. Feel blessed. Love you, bro. I'm excited.
Alex, go! You haven't seen fucking snow, bro. First time.
Yeah, this is business. It's lit. It's so comfy. Shout out Iman. He's a legend. Looks after the boys.
Express delivery from Russia.
And welcome to the villa.
Bro, you switched up, bro.
I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
Come on.
Sister. Cheers. Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro. Lekker.
There we go. Back in the city where it all started, huh? It's peaceful.
Huh?
It's just so peaceful.
I know, bro. Cape Town holds a very special place in our heart.
That it does. It's just a very interesting episode, no?
What are we calling this?
The truth behind the $100 million friendship.
Bro, you've single-handedly contributed to, what would we even call it?
Videoflation.
Like, yeah, like, basically, long story short, all of our friends and acquaintances can't find good creative people anymore because they're all expecting to fly private on their 7th week in the role.
But a lot of people don't know what really happens behind the scenes.
Well,
And that this is also very nuanced,
well,
this role. It's not your typical videographer role.
no. Behind the scenes, it's probably pretty accurate, but how it started is what people don't know.
How it started is exactly what people don't know. A lot of people always ask, how did you and Alex meet? I think a lot of people assume that we're just friends from the get-go. Like, we've just known each other. Like,
Well-
you're on the come-up, you just gave me a job.
Or that this was like part of the role. So explain, how did it all start?
I'm sure you guys, obviously, if you're watching this, you saw the intro to this video. Funny thing about that clip in the beginning is the editing job I was talking about, the pitch that I did for free to land a client was for Iman. And it's so crazy how my life completely changed after that. But to give context, I was basically running a creative agency for 4 years in South Africa, Johannesburg mainly. COVID obviously hit in the middle of that. And, you know, I had a good business partner at the time, and things were not scaling, but they were going well. And
You had some big clients. Converse. This is a big beer company, no?
Hennessy,
Okay, yeah. So fitting for you.
and a lot of big local clients, K-Way and Polo and all that. But yeah, long story short, I was running a creative agency, and I finally started doing well. At least my first apartment. I was actually just crashing at my business partner's house the entire time. At the time, leased my first apartment. Things were going well. And I came across you on the internet. And I saw you in Cape Town quite a bit. I reached out, hoping to land you as a client, and you never replied. Like, what's up with that, bro?
What dickhead.
What a dickhead, bro. Like, why don't you answer your DMs? You only had like 100k followers at the time anyway. And lo and behold, you put out a job post for a video editor. And even though I wasn't a video editor, like, I was running my agency, I was filming, doing photography, I had billboards, I was doing portrait shoots, I was just doing a bit of everything. Plus I had freelancers working with me on a contractor basis. But I applied as an editor just to get onto your radar. Jumped on a call with Tristan. He loved me. He got you on the call with me.
Nothing's changed.
And you were like, okay, listen, fly out to Cape Town. I'm here. Come hang out for 5 days and let's just see if this is a culture fit. Bear in mind, I didn't really want the job. I swear. I was like, what the fuck? I don't want to be a video editor.
So you're like, now you're like stuck on a plane going to spend 3 days with me and Tristan. And you're like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
I just wanted to meet you, bro. I was a fan, dude. And then obviously we met and
We picked you up from the airport.
in the G-Wagon. I was starstruck, bro. I remember coming out the terminal and you were just drawing cash. Nothing's changed. You're just drawing a shitload of cash. I was like, wait, Iman came and picked me up. And then back of the G-Wagon, you took me to the villa in one of your homes here in Cape Town.
This is like, what, almost brother, it's nearly like 4 years ago.
Yeah. And yeah, we got along. And long story short, you made me an offer to come work for you as a junior video editor, but I had to leave my business behind. That was the rule. And my obligations were, or part of the role was to edit 1 TikTok a day.
Oh, yeah.
Edit
about that.
edit 1 TikTok a day and edit all of the SMMA content. And that was it. That was the job. And I had to leave basically, just to give context, like my agency at the time was doing 10K US in South Africa into the business. Obviously there's taxes, business partner, blah, blah, blah.
So that's what, like 220,000 Rand a month.
Yeah. And it was like,
That's nuts.
it was like March. It was like, I think it was March 22. So we already had R500,000 in the bank account and like retainers signed. So it wasn't like, oh, we're on track to do it. It's like retainers for 3 months, 6 months signed. So my agency really started taking off and it was a really difficult crossroad, bro. But the big thing about it and why I actually really took the job is obviously I felt like a great connection with you and the team. And I felt a bit lost in South Africa, bro. I won't lie. I felt like, you know, we laugh about it a lot in our vlogs and all that, but I'm just a dummy that just try to figure things out. And next thing I'm in rooms with very successful people in South Africa and landing big clients. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I think it's very important to crave to not be the smartest person in the room. You know, that whole cliche. And not to say I was smart, but I felt like there weren't smart people around me. And I just wanted like guidance and I wanted to see how far I could take things, and I felt like there was no room for that in South Africa. And when, you know, you came along with this opportunity, I was like, okay, I know how difficult it is to run a business, and one of the challenges of running a business is attracting a good team and attracting a good, you know, creating a good culture. And I was like, well, I'm in my 20s. My risk ratio is, you know, it's pretty high. I can risk leaving my business behind and starting all over again. But let me go be the employee to you that I was looking for me. That was my mindset, because I know how much a solid employer, you know, in the basic terms, an employer really values a hardworking, proactive, strong employee. And I know that sounds like so like surface level, but one of my strengths was obviously like just I could read you as a person, and from the get-go I was like, wow, you're
Bro, you're one of the best people's persons I've ever met. Like your ability to read rooms and know how far to push things and what to say, what not to say. Where do you think that comes from? Boarding school? South African boarding school?
shout out Nelspray. I don't know, bro. I can't attribute to anything. My star sign.
Oh yeah.
But
Cancer.
I genuinely can't attribute it to, I don't have the knowledge or the wisdom to say that, oh, this is the reason for that. Long story short, I left my job and I joined the company, and then I just worked, bro. 3 months in, you gave me a raise. 6 months in, you gave me another raise.
Fucking hell, jeez.
Bro, man just started giving me raises, and then after 9 months, you're like, yo, we're on calls every day, obviously. I got promoted to the main YouTube channel, and I did everything that I told myself I would do. I was like, just be a great employee. And this is let me just preface this entire life, I know you said in the beginning, but this entire life that you see us living, this friendship, this brotherhood, none of that was on the paper in the beginning.
This never came with the role and the responsibility, and I think that's why, like, you know, I don't think enough people give you enough credit for how much you sacrifice. First of all, what you put on the line, and then number two, what you sacrifice, and number three, like the level of wisdom that you had, because people want the end result. They just don't want to be able to put in the repetitions to get to the end result. So like, you know, even like on YouTube and whatnot, like we kind of joke sometimes, like, oh, Alex, haha, it doesn't work, or like he's on the, you know, on retirement plan, and like, and it's fine. Like we, you joke about things that you know aren't true. And because you put in all those repetitions, and when push comes to shove, you know, there's periods where things go super fucking crazy. When you pull up your boots and you get to fucking work, you're a grafter, right? And I think it's like, I think it's South African dog in you. Like, that's what I love South African spirit so much, because South Africans, bro, they just know how to fucking work and just not complain and just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely take a lot of that. Not so much like your Greek side. No, actually, except for your dad, bro. Your dad's a fucking machine, bro.
My dad's a machine, bro.
Your dad's a machine.
He's worked his whole life, bro.
But yeah, I don't think people give you enough credit for, number one, having the trust. Number two, like, you know, just having the mental fortitude to think like, oh, let me give the level of effort and commitment that I would have wanted, you know, someone working inside of my organizations.
Bro, I left school. I couldn't afford university. Like, that's the truth. I told my dad I want to go to this university for music. It's like, I wish, but I can't, you know. And my dad sacrificed a lot, and my mom, for me to. They put me in a good school. But if it wasn't for, like, they basically told me when I was in high school, you got to get a scholarship, or, you know, you got to figure things out. And I had to figure things out. And I worked as a waiter. I worked as an intern, where I got rinsed, bro. Like, I've never worked, to this day, even with you, with all due respect, I've never worked that hard in my life. And I didn't get paid for 6 months. I got promised to get paid. I didn't sign contracts. I learned all these lessons at a very young age. But I wasn't like, when it came to leaving my business, for me, it was like, I'm not scared of the hard work. And like you said, the whole joke's like, Alex doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. Like, the reason I don't take it so hard is because, like you said, I know what I put in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I know the sleepless nights. I know the risks I've taken. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
funny. It's like...
You can joke about things that you know aren't true.
Yeah, and then 9 months into working with you remotely, this is all remotely, you're like, hey Alex, I got this 8-bedroom villa in Cape Town that's just sitting empty with a G-Wagon, a maid and a chef. Why don't you just go live there? Bro, before you could hang up the call, I was already on the plane. I was like, yo, say less, cuz.
You're like, this is perfect timing, just in time for December.
Okay, December. It was literally November 22, bro. And I moved to Cape Town. Your mom moved in for a bit. I got to know your mom. We hung out. Interesting Russian-South African dynamic. And then you came in December. And from that day on, we have lived with each other for how long now? It's like 3 years?
Well, it's like 3 years now. It's I think the longest we've been apart for the last 3 years is like 2 weeks, maybe?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I don't even know if 2 weeks.
I think 2 weeks a year.
Yeah, 2 weeks a year.
2 weeks a year. But yeah, that December you came through and we had a bit of a work function and then a bit of a work, like as you do with the companies, every end of the year, the C-suite has a bit of a retreat. And after that retreat, I was supposed to go home. And you were going to stay in Cape Town for January for your birthday with your London friends and all that. I remember clearly, I was so sad because I knew I had to go home. And then you were like, Alex, would you stay? You were just like, yo, you want to stay and like hang out with us? I was like, fuck yeah. And then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, have you told your parents? I'm like, what? It's like, that you're moving to Dubai in Feb. I was like, what you mean, bro? You're like, bro, I told you in July that we need to start a vlog channel and if you would move to Dubai, and you said yes. I'm like, yeah, bro, but from July till now, it hasn't been mentioned once. I've got a rental property, I've got a car, I've got bank accounts, I got shit. And you're like, bro, it's fine, bro. You go to Joburg after January and sort it out, bro. And I'm like, wait. And you know, this is the thing. In South Africa, like, I realized, I'm circling here quickly, but I realized obviously now living with you and living this quite intense, fast-paced, quote-unquote rockstar lifestyle, it's so normal to pack up and go. We here. It's like, it's just so normal. But that time in my life, I'd left South Africa twice. And to move somewhere is like, bro, it's a song and dance. It's like family throws a farewell. It's like an insane thing. For you, in your mind, you're like, bro, it's easy. You just pack up and you come live in Dubai. I'm like, bro, for me, it's like, bro, my whole life is changing. It was very daunting, but very exciting. And that's when we started the vlog channel 3 years ago in Cape Town. And life just went like that. Ski trip, Maldives, London, Budapest. Life got crazy. Life got really crazy.
Honestly, it couldn't have been easy. I think about it sometimes, like growing up in South Africa and then moving to, like, bro, it's so crazy for you, like literally just overnight. Because obviously it was an overnight switch to like, okay, a different life now in Cape Town and a different way of living and a lot more intense. And then from there, moving to Dubai, bro. Moving to Dubai when you're born and raised in South Africa can't be easy. No matter, like, of course, we, very fortunate to have a nice infrastructure there and whatnot, but like still, bro, it cannot be easy.
Well, I chat about it. I chat all about it. I think there's one extract. I don't know what page it is. What does the first few lines say?
Moving to Dubai has been a real shock to my system. It feels like being dropped into a parallel universe, same planet, different rules. Everything I know about money, relationships, status signaling, value has all shifted.
Friday, the 2nd of June, 2023.
At 1:25 a.m.
Yeah, bro. And the one thing I give props to you, and it's I want to frame this in a way that doesn't sound bad at all, but like, you always looked after me, right? But in terms of remuneration, you kept it very slow and steady, which I'm very thankful for, because I've appreciated the growth and I've learned how to manage my money. I feel sorry for people that go from zero to like $10,000 a month overnight. I don't think they would be able to know what to do with that money correctly, in my opinion. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can do it, but I'm grateful that, you know, like, you treated me as a friend and as a brother, and you looked after me and you spoiled me, you bought me gifts, you look after me in every aspect of the word. But when it came to actual, hey, you're still my employee, the remuneration was true to the job role. So it's a double-edged sword. It's like, I really did appreciate it at the time, and I appreciate it now, but it was tough because we are around high net worth individuals, and we're going to, like, you bring me into Dubai and I'm going to all these restaurants. These are the only restaurants I know, dropping 2-3K a night on just food and drinks. I'm just like, what? How am I supposed to live up to this? So it was stressful. It was very overwhelming. There was that imposter syndrome that I went through, that whole arc. Like, wait, am I really here? Do I belong here? And just had to roll with it, right? I think from not early, but relatively early, I think we were in Lake Como. It's another chapter in the book. You know what's crazy is that there's this what I'm about to talk about now. I think you took the photo.
Yeah. I saw you journaling, so I snapped a photo.
We were in Lake Como. It was early in the morning. You want to read the first few bits?
Wednesday, 3rd of May, 2023. While sitting out on the terrace, birds chirping, nearby church bells ringing, and the sun shining through the morning dew, and a blanket of clouds floating below us across the valley, I can't help but feel a strange sense of detachment from it all. I've just been brought my morning cup of coffee by Lorenzo, our quintessential Italian butler, who has also just informed me that a fresh batch of croissants and pain au chocolats are ready if I'd like to have any. As I sit there savoring the stillness of the moment, a thought creeps in. Am I really happy? These past 5 months have been something straight out of a movie. My first time on yachts, private jets, and 10K a night villas. The list keeps going. I've seen and experienced things many people wouldn't have dreamt of, but today I feel disconnected between the luxury surrounding me and the emotional void I can't shake. Today I need to truly check in with myself. Am I happy? Do I feel fulfilled? And I'll leave the rest up to the lucky readers of the book.
And while I was writing that, Iman took a photo of me with the film camera while he was inside through the window. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, journal in my hand, coffee there on the terrace of our beautiful Villa Peduzzi, Lake Como. And I think that's when it hit me, bro. It's like, okay, it's not an imposter syndrome feeling. It's that I love what's happening around me. I love the people around me. I love what we're doing. I love the chaos, the thrill. But immediately then I was like, I want this forever. I don't want it just to be like, you know, like, remember in 2022 we traveled the world, and then I'm like, no, I want this to be a forever thing. So I felt it was very important to take a step back and check in with myself and see, okay, is it what you want really? Why do you want it? And what do you need to do to make sure that you stay on path so that this can transpire? So yeah, from that moment on, I was like, okay, I don't really care about I do care about the glitz and glams, but I don't want it all now. I want to be able to enjoy this forever. And then that was when I kind of, okay, enough of this euphoria. I think because there was a stage where I was just like hitting the clouds. Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's just look at what my shortcomings are and let's try to fix that.
So that's very interesting. About 6 months into living that life, you're like, okay, this is fucking amazing, but also let's not forget that there's work that goes into making sure this isn't because we talk about this all the time. I think we even talked about it on the vlog channel. There's your lifestyle today and there's your forever lifestyle, and I think one thing we've done very well, and everyone needs to play in a team, everyone needs to, you know, play their position. Our favorite saying.
gotta play your role, baby.
And
left back.
And yeah, I think we all have in our team, because we have such a like tight-knit team, we all have like this sense of responsibility. We can't do it all, and we all have different strengths and weaknesses, but if we do this thing together and and we focus on longevity, we will not only do this once, we'll make this the rest of our life. And that's definitely, I mean, it's crazy. Every year just keeps getting bigger and bigger and crazier things and new heights and more records smashed. And I think just a lot more maturity as a camp. Fuck, you've matured in this year, bro. I think 2025 was like your breakthrough year. Bro, every time anyone sees you, they're like, fuck, man, Alex is glowing up. Like, Alex is like as a person, in terms of even just, obviously, like, you know, it's good that you keep a lot of your private stuff private, but, bro, you're in a very solid, sturdy position with your finances, with your career, with, like, a lot of the assets that you own that, like, a lot of people don't know about. And, yeah, you've just...
Shout out Toshi. I'm joking. I lost so much money there.
No, you didn't. You made money.
I made money.
No, you made money. You just did
opportunity cost.
No, you made like a 3x. You just didn't make like a 12x.
Yeah.
You should have.
Fuck crypto, guys. I'm not a pro crypto. I was gambling there. Might as well put on red or black.
But yeah, bro. Everyone keeps seeing you now, and they're like, "Fuck, bro. You're having a crazy glow up."
Thank you, bro.
Years into the game.
You're a product of the people you surround yourself with. I actually look at it, it's so funny, I look at other internet money people per se, or social media guys or sportsmen, and you look at their team and it's like copy paste. So it's so true. Like, I'm so grateful for you as well, bro, because without your guidance, I think I also could have gone through a wrong path. So thank you, bro.
Appreciate you.
We're running low.
So why do you decide to create a book? And how do you describe the book?
This book, how would I describe it? I've always been a creative, musically, visually, in all aspects. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I've created something that's worth lasting.
It's a generational, bro.
Yeah, thank you. I was inspired, obviously, by other photographers. They planted the seed, as, you know, people that you look up to do, or you don't just come up with ideas. I think you are influenced in some way. And we've lived a crazy last 3 years. And I had all these photos. I mean, I got a sick Instagram, but I don't post 99% of the shit that I take. And I had all this content that I wanted to put out. And for me, in a book format, for me, like, it's something that will outlive me. And that's what I wanted to accomplish with this, is tell a story, at first visually, and then you're like, bro, you got to add all the stories and texts and journals that you've been writing. So initially it was just going to be a coffee table book, and then Iman's like, no, you got to add. He sees me journal, he sees me writing, he's like, bro, you got to add all these stuff in. That's what's going to make the book. And he was right. Hate to say it, but he was right. But I know there's been so many people that say this, that like, oh, I come from humble beginnings, you know, like rags to riches story, blah blah blah, the whole stereotype. But for me, it's a tangible example of what life can really turn out for the person that goes and chases after what they truly believe is meant for them. And I obviously want to inspire not just our viewers watching, but a kid in 500 years time, the world is still around, that finds this book and sees like, wow, you know, he really went for it. And not only inspire, but also add perspective to people that may think they want this life, not knowing what cost comes with it, because it's not all glitz and glamour, and all that glitters isn't gold. That's why it's the subtitle. In here, there's a lot of writings of me just like processing this life, and a lot of lessons I've learned from friends along the way that are super wealthy. And, you know, we're in rooms with a lot of very successful people. And when I'm in these rooms and I'm smoking a cigar and listening to, you know, people like you talk, and all of our business associates and acquaintances, and I'm always like, how do I relay this information to my friends, the people I care about? I'm always thinking like that. I'm like, wow, this is so valuable. From relationships to how to manage your money, to how to, you know, appreciate what you have, or the journey. Because it's so easy to say, oh, appreciate the journey, you know, it's really not about the final destination. But it's like, how do I capture that, you know, now that I've lived that, and relay it in my way to people? So where I'm going with this is that I just wanted to create something that was going to outlive me and inspire. Something sick as well, bro.
Everything about it is perfection. Like, if it was just a coffee table book, if it was just photos, of course, you're well known as one of the best in the world right now when it comes to your visuals. What?
Sweet.
You know what's even more impressive? It's more impressive you managed to take these photos and you're drunk half the time. That's actually what's the most impressive part about it.
Speaking of,
it's like, bro, the fact that you'll be like 17 shots of Azul in and you still manage to like produce these masterpieces, I give it to you, bro. It's impressive. But yeah, listen.
at the cost of vlog footage.
Yeah, for me, it's if it was just a coffee table book and it was just visuals, like, bro, of course these are some of the most beautiful visuals you're gonna see in the world, but it's just another. I feel like it's just another, you know. And there's other people in that conversation, but when it comes to a book that shows you the glitz and the glam and shows you literally what's plastered all over Pinterest and Instagram as the dream life, and you're there living it and documenting it, but then you have the diary entries of doubt, feelings of insecurity, because I think people even think like once you live a certain life, like all the insecurity goes away because you're living this amazing life. It's like, no, a lot of times that's when the real insecurity starts, because you're just getting into bigger and bigger and better rooms, and the competition and the comparison game just gets bigger and bigger and more intense. So the fact that you have reflections about that, you have reflections about women, modern dating, heartbreak, apathy, feeling numb to it all, and how quickly you can get acclimated to this world, what this world's actually like. Like, to me, that is what takes this from something that's just, of course, like a beautiful, 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 beautiful piece of work and body of work, to something that's just like, it gives you an insight that you're not going to get anywhere else, because I feel like you gave your heart and your soul to the visuals, but you really poured your heart out in the text. And, you know, that's also why I always say, like, to me, you're a generational talent who can write, who can creative direct, who can execute himself, who can then also write the soundtrack to it, because you make fucking music to that. Like, bro, there's nothing you can't do from the creative realm. You truly are a generational artist of all kinds.
My guy, thank you, bro.
And I think anyone that's, because obviously, listen, if you really want to fucking milk this, and obviously we've had discussions about this before, like if you want to milk it, you make a poster and you make a this and you make a that and you'd sell this and you'd sell that, and well, like, to me, this is a part of history that people need, and this is something you can read when you're having a shit day and you're doubting yourself, and it's something that everyone can relate to, which is like, hey, I wanted to make it, here's me before I made it, and here's me once I make it, and the emotional turmoil that comes with that entire journey, with a visual representation of it too.
Yeah.
So I just think what you made here is so special, in the fact that it's numbered and it's limited in quantity, and as I said, you're not making this as a poster that people can buy in different formats, and then it's print on demand, and but like, it's a real piece of art.
Thank
and
you,
it's a
bro.
real body of work that, to me, as I said, for anyone that's lucky enough to get their hands on it, is something that I actually think will be passed down from generation to generation.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. I think only, you know, you planted the seed of it being maybe a potential trilogy. And the reality is, I'm only 29, right? So for me as a consumer, and this is not me trying to sell the product, it's like, the cool thing about it is the texts, the film photos, it's all cool. And what I like about it is obviously like AI is like taking over the world now, and AI arts, like I'm even consuming AI arts. I'm like, this is so boring. This is so raw and real, and it's all shot on film. It's all like just raw and organic, which I really love about it. But the cool thing about this is that it's not like a quick aesthetic story post that I post and it's like, okay, cool, and on to the next one. It's like, it's really curated through documenting and through living, and whoever decides to buy this and invest in it, I think it's an exciting thing, because you're essentially investing in a story of a person's journey, because there will be a next one, and it's not like a quick money grab. It's like, this is my legacy, you know?
Bro, listen, I've yet to see a book that's better produced than this. Like, from a physical touch perspective, from the amount of iterations that you went through, bro, you could have fucking, you and I both know, you could have skimped out a lot in terms of the cost and the price, and you took the best materials, you took the best manufacturer, you took everything in here is just the best of the best, bro. So yeah, as you said, like, this has been a 18-month process.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, that's not the process of the creation of the book. That's as in like just getting into the physical format. So you could have done some print on demand, this, that, and then, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I know for you, more important than anything else is the legacy, and making sure that this is something, as I said, where I think people in 10 years are going to take a lot of pride, because this is numbered, and this is not something that you're looking to replicate again. Like, your head's already on to the next book. So I think for anyone that's lucky enough in 10 years to have the trilogy.
Original trilogy. Yeah. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that.
And like, you know, of course, listen, if it was you, a different story. Of course, anything you do or make, you know, I'm going to support in any way that I can. But like, if it was someone else, or let's say someone else that I knew of or whatever, loosely knew of, or I knew from online or whatever, like, if I didn't know you, let me put it this way, if I didn't know you and you released it as a coffee table book, to be honest, there's other coffee table books, but it's the text in there It's the text and the fact that you have a visual representation. You have a fucking photo of you writing that text in the moment. Like, you bring people into a world. And as I said, you know, just fucking credit to you, because not everyone can like have their heart on their sleeves and talk about like heartbreak. Because also there's that part of you as a man that's like, oh no, but like, is this gonna make me look this? Like, there's so much internal dialogue you can have about, am I actually gonna fucking put this out to the world? Like, there's so much stuff in there where you're like, am I going to put this out into the world and have this live for 100, 200, 300 years?
Yeah.
So, you know, credit to you for not only just tying in so many different mediums in the book, but also like you gave it 110%. Like, you didn't fucking leave anything out on the court. Whether that's from the visual or the written perspective, you didn't hold anything back, which I appreciated. So who are the chicks, bro? You wrote a poem about a girl.
I did.
What's up with that? Tell me.
There's just someone in passing, bro.
Someone in passing. She didn't seem like she was in passing.
Yeah, I wrote a poem about the perfect woman.
Do you think she was the perfect woman?
No, but it was inspired by.
So it wasn't an actual woman.
No.
It was a
created, manifested, non-existent person in my mind.
How many women do you think are gonna read the book and think that's about them?
We'll leave it at that. Do you know what it was? That poem was just like, I've had a lot of little rendezvous, right? It's like, I'm trying to say this without sounding cocky or arrogant, but just to add perspective. It's like those, you know, you can't tell the guy that buying the Ferrari is going to do nothing to you until he's in a position to buy the Ferrari, buys it himself and realizes, oh my gosh, this does nothing for me. Unless you're a car geek, but you know what I'm trying to say, that, you know, money isn't everything, abundance isn't everything. And it's the same with women. Like, you know, there was a stage in my life where I was getting rejected a lot. I never struggled with confidence. I never struggled with women in general, but it was a numbers game. It's like, I asked 10 out on a date, one says yes, you know, and this is growing up, obviously. But I was always very confident, delusionally confident, very charming. I don't know where I got that. I got that from rom-coms, bro, from movies, but always worked my charm. But I struggled with, not struggled, but it was hard, bro. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 jock hunk that just women just fucking ran to. I had to figure my way out to talk to girls and, you know, and find my way to go on dates, etc., etc. And obviously, when the success came and the status came and the money came and the glow up came, a higher caliber of woman in more numbers became easier to acquire, and start going on a lot of dates, and you realize that, wow, they just all pretty much the same, you know?
All the glitters isn't gold.
Yep. It's just not what it seems, and it's nice, you know, if you're having a bad day and you need a little ego boost, to say the least, but like, it's just another, like, I hope this doesn't get clipped up and make me look like an idiot, but at the end of the day, it's just another girl, bro. And you start questioning what really matters for you. Every man's different. So when writing that poem, I took the best traits out of the best woman that I knew. A bit of this, a bit of that, a bit of that, and I created the perfect woman in my mind. I'd like to think she exists, but the reality is that it takes a perfect man to attract the perfect woman, and no man's perfect. So I think I'm gonna have to continue to grow into the man I need to be in order to attract the perfect woman for me. But it's nice, bro. It's nice to live in a little bit of, that's what art's about, bro. Good to be delusional. Delusion got me here.
It's working out quite clearly.
Yeah. And to all my guys out there that are struggling and, you know, feel very down and insecure and unsure, the reality is that, like, you just, like, in this day and age, it's very difficult to date, per se. You're not going to just walk into a bar and see a pretty girl. But if you do, you got to have the balls to approach her, right? And in your spare time, all you got to focus on is just becoming a better person. Get your bag up, focus on your emotional intelligence, read all the cliches, train, become a man. But you got to work hard. You got to work hard, and there's going to be lonely chapters, and life happens like that. Life's like, it's not linear. It's like there's a lot of lows, there's a little bit of highs, and then more lows. And when it comes to finances, when it comes to dating life, when it comes to everything about life. So yeah, do you think the perfect woman exists?
No, definitely not. But I also don't think the perfect man exists.
Do you think the perfect woman for you exists?
No, I think you spend enough time together and you don't change who you are at your core, but I think you guys start to sort of mold and shift and get more calibrated in the dance, which is your relationship, and your partner becomes more and more perfect as the days go by. So without losing their core and who, you know, what actually makes them them. And I also think it's important that there's certain things where I think that imperfections are important. I think no one ever appreciates perfection. I think you need imperfection. So I think you need that duality. Yeah, it's just a shame, like, today's modern world, that's why I said, like, that's why I just think the book's fucking sick, because it's, you know, people put things on pedestals and they really shouldn't. And I know it's easy to say when you haven't lived it, but hopefully, hopefully literature like yours at least helps people shortcut the process and at least not put things too much on a pedestal, because you've experienced it firsthand, kind of from, bro, you really went from fucking 0 to 100, bro.
1,000.
Like, bro, you really
0
went
to 1,000.
bro, you really went from like, fuck, man, there's so much shit in the book that we can't put in there. It's so annoying.
It is.
Because, bro, oh my god.
And the only reason I leave it out is not because of you guys, because of my children's futures, okay? I don't want to look like, I don't want to have any regret by putting something in that book that shouldn't be put in the book. It's not that I don't want to share these stories, but it's 0 to 1,000.
So much shit. Your first time on a jet. Yeah, you really went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Imagine wanting something for your whole life and being so far away from it physically in the realm that you're in. And then you wake up the next day and it's not like a work in progress. So you wake up the next day and it's just like everything and more that you could have dreamed of. That's how quickly it happened. Like, yeah, I worked years and years and years and years and years, but I always kept the hope and the manifestation and the fucking dream alive. But tangibly, it came overnight. It was intense, bro.
Well, I think you always wanted to be a rock star.
Yep.
And it pretty much happened.
Pretty much happened. We live better than rock stars, bro. We live better than rock stars.
No, put it this way. We live doing it for a lot longer. That's for sure. It's a long life. So I find it interesting, in one of the passages, you recount how you go and catch up with one of your childhood friends, and you were telling him about how you bought your mom a house. And he goes, that's something I'll never get to feel. And you say to him, what do you mean? And he shrugs and he goes, I could buy my mom 100 homes, but she already has everything. Retiring her, she's never needed to work in the first place. I will never know what that feels like, to change her life like that. I don't get to have that moment. What was that moment like?
Clearly profound enough for me to go home and write about it. Because, like, he's a friend of mine that I've been friends with for a very long time. We weren't childhood friends. We were friends, while I was running my business, and I had met him through a mutual. And he kind of took me, into his circle and into his family life, like, almost immediately. But he was one of my first experiences of wealth. Like, he's a very successful man. His family are very successful in South Africa and internationally. And he saw my life change from 0 to 1,000 as well. Because he was there from just that turning point, just before that turning point. And I always thought he had everything, and he's got a beautiful family, siblings, so much money, a lot of success, a lot of purpose. He had his head on straight. It's like he never really spent money on stupid things, but always looked after me as well. Very positive guy, very smart guy. And for him to break that down for me like that and extrapolate that whole moment in a way that made me feel sorry for him it was profound, bro. It was like, wow, the guy that I thought, because he was born into money, right? And it's not that it's a bad thing at all. I mean, we all want to have money to give to our kids. But then it made me think, it's like, okay, so my entire life's purpose was to provide and change my mom's life and, look after my family, as well as live all this extra stuff that I wanted to do for myself, but ultimately was to just change my mom's life around. Like, my mom worked 3 jobs. She just worked her whole life, and she was just a great woman, bro. But is a great woman. And that was my entire life's purpose, just to make sure she's okay. Because if I didn't make sure that there was no one else that would. Her and my father are divorced. Both great people, no bad blood. But it's not my father's responsibility to look after my mom anymore. So it was mine. And you can relate to that. And it made me realize, like, hey, what's his purpose? Like, where's he going to get... Because that feeling was insane. To know, like, that was a tangible moment of, like, okay, I've achieved one of my really big goals. And it was very fulfilling. Because I think you find the most fulfillment by doing something for others, rather than for yourself. So it just made me realize, like, it was like, wow, like, money comes and goes, bro. You know that, I know that. I've never been scared to spend, even though I don't come from a lot. I'm never, like, I don't have this, like, bad relationship with money. Like, a lot of people are scared to let go of money. There's one thing respecting money, there's another thing just, having a, what's the right word? Like, money.
Scarcity?
Yeah, a scarcity mindset. So it's one thing having a scarcity mindset, it's one thing respecting money. I don't have a scarcity mindset. But it made me realize, I was like, wow, money's always there. Changing the people's lives around you that you love is so fulfilling that almost nothing else beats it. So I was taken back by that statement, because I was like, okay, what can he do in his life that will give him that feeling? Because before you, sure, I hadn't seen snow and bought an expensive airplane ticket or done certain things, and he had done all that. But now I have done all that, and I've got that feeling of changing my mom's life. He doesn't have that feeling of changing his mom's life. And that's an insane feeling. Something money really can't buy. Can but can't, you know what I mean? So it's a shock. It's a double-edged sword. You want your kids to grow up comfortably, and you think that people with money have everything, but at the end of the day, there's that generic saying that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I'm way more grateful to have experienced the highs as much as the lows.
Well, there we have it. What Now is officially available. As I said, it's a limited edition. Alex is already hard at work on the second of what I think will be an incredible trilogy. Just going through, I think, what every man wishes to experience and then finds out that isn't what they expected, and then that takes them on a different route and a different path. And as I said, even in 2025, like, it's crazy for me to see you change as a person. Like, I think 2025 was a really, really big change. And then knowing how that's going to reflect in the next sets of books. So listen, I know a lot of you guys on here are big supporters of Alex's. I know a lot of you guys take a lot of inspiration from what Alex has done in his life. You know, I think, bro, especially for South Africans, like, it's just fucking crazy what you've done and how you never forgot where you came from, which I think is super important. So I just want you to know if Alex has helped you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, which I know you've done for, honestly, tens, even hundreds of thousands of people. And especially for those of you guys that know Alex in real life, because if you know him, you know that he's genuinely the most fucking incredible person ever, with the kindest heart, and will make you laugh for days on end. So anyways, long story short, go get your copy. Yeah, it's a beautiful addition to any home, and yeah, fuck man, I'm proud to have them displayed in all of our places.
Thank you, bro. Let's go. Let's go.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, that's it. Let's go enjoy December.
December.